while grades aren't a necessary indication of how bright you are, they're an indication of how dedicated you are to playing the game. And the game is making those grades and establishing the credential that you can master whatever task is put forward to you, whether it's writing a paper or studying for a test or whatever those kinds of things. As we as a society use good grades to determine who we want to give the better opportunities to. And so the better grades you make, then the more doors open up to you for other educational experiences or other experiences in general that you might want to take advantage of. So making the very best grades you can never hurts you. Making bad grades, on the other hand, can hold you back and can close the door. So you are never hurt by making the very best grades you possibly can, even though it may offend you to say that, well, I'm really the smartest guy in the class, even though I made a D. You have to show it by making an A. That's the way our system works, and that's kind of the scoreboard. In football, you may have the best team, but if you don't have the most points up in the game when the clock goes to 0, you lose. And the same thing in the classroom. You may be the smartest, brightest kid in the classroom, but if you don't have the 100 up there on the test, or the 98 or 99, it doesn't matter. Somebody else gets that recognition. Every good decision they make continues to keep doors open for them. Every bad decision they make begins to close doors that can affect the rest of their life. And that some of the most innocent seeming circumstances can have lifetime consequences, and to be very careful with decisions. They each have an opportunity to get a really good public school education, whether it's at OHS or Permian or wherever it is, to take advantage of that, do the very best you can. People say, well, how did you get to be this or that? Part of it is just continuing to do the very best you can each and every circumstance. If they ask you to carry out the trash, make sure you do that job better than anybody else could do it. Just become one of those folks that people rely on when they know if they ask you to do something that you're going to do a great job at it. You're not going to do the minimum. You're going to really put it out and get it done. Become someone who can be trusted to stick with their word and those kinds of things. So that all takes habit. It becomes a habit, needs to be a habit that you get into, and you can rely on those good habits every single day to carry you through those times when you're tempted to not do the job as well as you could, to skate by and not study quite as hard for this particular test, or not put the effort into this paper or whatever. But just know that as they go about their daily, monotonous day in and day out life, that they are building a foundation for how they're going to lead all of their life, and how they're going to be perceived in the community, how they're going to be perceived within their families, and that those decisions, while seemingly innocent and of no consequence, really can sometimes have a lifetime consequences. So be careful, have fun, but be careful as they go about that, and continue to try to do their very best they can, whether it's, like I said, carrying out the trash, or working on a paper, or working on a school project, or working on a volunteer project, whatever it might be. Be a leader. Lead by example. Lead by doing the very best you can, and it'll stand you in good stead.